Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello, family and friends, Muslim, Christians, and Jews, and all believers. As you very well know, as I said before, this is Aleem Muhammad coming to you tonight with another video, and I assure you it shouldn't be that long. God is willing. I'm hoping to get through to you and that it helps you and get across to you in a line of videos that I intend to do, the attributes of God Almighty. The attributes of Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala. And as I start this video off, I say, Ashhadu la ilaha illallah, wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. That is to say, I bear witness there is no God but God, and that Muhammad is his servant and messenger. His attribute tonight is about the name Arra'uf. It's Arra'uf. The compassionate. It's the compassionate. Arra'uf is spelled A-R-A-U-F. Arra'uf. But this is translated from the original Aramaic language. It is the compassionate. It is the compassionate. And what does it say? It says something very good about this, because it says, he who repeats this name frequently will be blessed by Allah. The recitation of this sacred name of Allah turns a harsh and hard master into a kind and lenient one. Remembering this name, just saying Arra'uf, or just say the compassionate. He is the compassionate with a capital T and a capital C. Who is the compassionate of all? That is none other than Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala, the God. None other than God Almighty. Not Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, not Jesus, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, not Abraham and Moses, peace be upon them all, not none of his prophets, not none of his messengers. He is the compassionate. He is Arra'uf. He is the most compassionate. And so, it says something in the Quran, it says something to this effect. It says, I want to say it's chapter 24, verse 20, if it's correct. I believe it is. It says, were it not for the grace and mercy of Allah on you, and that Allah is full of kindness and mercy. Were it not for that, he is the compassionate one. And I'm going forward here again tonight, and I get another chance to give you another video and relaying to you one of the attributes of Allah. This is his attributes. He has many. Only he knows how many he has. There's some who says there's 99 attributes, if I said in an earlier video, and there's some say more. But only Allah knows. Only God Almighty knows for sure how many attributes he has. And it's really important. It says something that the prophet said, to have said. They wrote it down from a gentleman called Bakari and a Muslim. It says, the Muslim, his name Muslim, there was Muslim, the group of people from Muslims, and from a gentleman by the name Bakari. I think it was Maurice Bakari. He who remembers his Lord and he who does not are like the living and the dead. It says, he who remembers God Almighty and he that does not remember him is like the living and the dead. This was what this hadith is telling you. You look it up, it's called Bukhari, and it's in Muslim. Bukhari and Muslim. And it's called a hadith. That means the saying of Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It says Prophet Muhammad is supposed to have said and relayed to us, he who remembers his Lord and he who does not are like the living and the dead. That's very important. We should always remember that. Always remember that, because Arra'uf, the compassionate, is something that you need. Because it says it clearly. It says, as I just said, he who repeats this name frequently will be blessed by Allah. The recitation of this sacred name of Allah turns a harsh and hard master into a kind and lenient one. I didn't say that. I'm saying it in that way. I didn't say it the way I just said it, if I ever said it ever before. It says, he who repeats this name frequently will be blessed by Allah. The recitation of this sacred name of Allah turns a harsh and hard master into a kind and lenient one. You want to be a kind and lenient instead of a harsh one. Be you man or woman. But remember, Arra'uf, if you can say that. If you can't say Arra'uf, say the compassionate. And this is something you should remember. It says something to this effect, and it's really important that you remember this here. Then remember me, I will remember you. It's what God Almighty says to us. Remember me, and I will remember you. That's in chapter 2 of the Holy Quran, chapter 2, verse 152. For those who have a Quran, or those who want to just get online and put in Quran, put Quran colon 2, 152. You can do that. And in another hadith, it's called, it's by Tamadi in Ibn Majah. Ibn Majah, you can remember that. You can find the hadith. Look up Ibn I-B-N and Majah, M-A-J-A-H. Ibn Majah, and then Tamadi, T-I-R-M-I-D-H-I. It says Tamadi. It says, I am with my servant when he remembers me, and his lips move, making mention of me. That's in Bukhari. And that's called Bukhari, the one I just mentioned. It's called Sayings of the Prophet Muhammad. And it says, Prophet also said, in Tamidi and Ibn Majah, he said, this is what the Prophet is to have said, a man does nothing more calculated to rescue himself from Allah's punishment than making mention of Allah. Mention. A man, this is powerful. A man does nothing more calculated to rescue him from Allah's punishment than making mention of Allah. This is partially and mainly for more so why I'm doing these attributes of God Almighty. These attributes. Here's another one. It won't be long. Arra'uf, the compassionate. And it ties to all I just said to you. It's tied to everything I just said to you. Specifically, it says, and foremost, he who repeats this name fragrantly will be blessed by Allah. The recitation of this sacred name of Allah turns a harsh and hard master into a kind and lenient one. Don't you forget that. And by the way, if you want to subscribe to the channel and get more of these attributes, you want help from God Almighty, then you go to Lies About God /forward Aleem Muhammad. And if it pleases him, you will get help. Or you can go to Truths About God /forward Aleem Muhammad. Muhammad with an O. Thank you for watching the video and helping me to remember Allah. For the fact that for the fact that you did what you did, due to the fact that you did what you did, you took the time and listened. Hey, you gave me a chance to remember a lot more and spread it on to someone else who was a believer. Because whether you're Christian, Muslim, or Jew, whoever believes in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whoever believes in God Almighty and practice righteous deeds will get their reward. On them should be no fear. So remember him, Arra'uf. Arra'uf, the compassionate. You don't speak Aramaic language, you can't say it that way, just say the compassionate. With a big T and a big C, the compassionate. Peace be upon you, and may God Almighty bless you and your family, and may God Almighty mend your ways. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you. In the Arabic tongue, peace be upon you.